Hello everyone, this is Christine Nowicki and I'm doing this video for the day 11 of the 21-day challenge to quit complaining. And I've been promising you a video about communication because when you quit complaining, I told you that many times, it doesn't mean that you have to stop expressing what is not working for you. But how do we do that, right? If complaining is not an option, how can I convey to the other person that something is not working? Because let's be honest, many times when we complain, it's because other people are not doing what we want them to do, when we want them to do, or they're doing something that we don't like, right? So when complaining is not an option, how can we communicate? So for me, when I was doing this challenge, I asked myself, what is it that I'm trying to do when I'm complaining? And I realized that when I'm complaining, so I'm activating three things. And we talked about this when we described how to recognize complaining and the three criteria to recognize complaining. So when I'm complaining, I'm using a tone of voice that is kind of sour because I'm upset, I'm frustrated, and I kind of want to understand. I want the other person to understand that it matters and that they have to listen, right? So I'm using this sour tone of voice or bitter. Then I'm pointing fingers, I'm putting the person in the position of being guilty, and I'm doing this because I want them to understand that they have to change, right? So I'm not doing this because I want to be mean, but I'm doing this because I want them to understand that I need them to change, right? So I'm pointing fingers at them. And then most of the time, because I'm afraid that I'm not going to be heard, I turn my problem into a drama. So I'm going to make the problem a little bit bigger so that I think it's going to increase the chances that the other person is going to pay attention, right? So I feel that I'm doing all of this, again, not because I'm mean, not because I want to hurt other people. I do all of this because I have a need. And I'm really trying to do my best to take care of my need. And I'm using complaining and I'm using that tone of voice and I'm pointing that finger and I'm turning the problem into a drama because maybe deep inside what I'm hoping is that my complaining is going to create some type of an electroshock, and that the other person is going to hear me and be like, oh yeah, you're right, Christine, I need to change, right? So I'm kind of hoping that it's going to create an electroshock. You know, the bitter tone of my voice, the pointing finger and the exaggeration and the drama. I'm hoping it's going to make the other person listen and understand and pay attention. Now, that's my intention. Now my question is it working? Look at your life and try to remember the last time you complained to someone about something that you wanted them to do differently. Did it work? What I realized is that it never works. When I'm using complaining as a strategy to convey my need, what is the reaction? And for me to understand that, I had to put myself in the shoes of the person who's complained to. So let's imagine you come to me and you use a tone of voice that is bitter, you blame me for something, and then you exaggerate what you're saying. Do you really think that I'm going to listen to you? Not at all. For me, if you do that to me, I'm going to have two possible reactions. The first one is I'm going to walk away because honestly, I don't like to be made wrong. And what you're saying is not true because you're turning the problem into a drama and you're not saying the truth. And then I don't like the tone of voice that you're using. So I'm gonna walk away if I can, right? If I cannot walk away, maybe because you're my boss or maybe because you're my mom, then I'm going to walk away mentally. I'm going to be like, okay, she's going crazy. It's going to pass. Okay? So I'm creating a distance between you and me, right? Don't you feel that this is the opposite than what I was thinking? That was what I was hoping? My second possible reaction, so the first one is I create a distance. The second possible reaction is I'm going to fight back. And I'm going to go and I'm going to tell you, this is not true, this is not fair, you don't understand, and I'm going to try to explain to you my point of view because I want to be right, I don't like to be made wrong, and I have probably very good reasons that I'm not doing what you want me to do, right? So we're going to go in this fight of who's right and who's wrong, and you know those fights, they never end until someone dies. So I'm not saying someone dies, but until someone bends, until someone give up, right? But when you use, so it's kind of a force and it's like a power struggle. And the problem with that is that maybe you're going to get what you want. Maybe you're going to get the other person to do what you want them to do, right? So maybe it is going to work. But tomorrow, to make that person cooperate again, you're going to have to make them bend again. You're going to have to increase the tone of your voice. You're going to have to blame them again. And I don't know what you think, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting to make people bend. And I actually have a lot of people joining this challenge because they're sick and tired of playing that game. They don't want to be that person in their house. They don't want to be that person in their office. So when I complain, my intention is that it's to take care of my need. And my intention is that it's going to create some type of electroshock, or it's going to make the person wake up and understand that they need to change. That's my intention. But the result is actually the opposite. The person is going to fight or flight. Or eventually, the person is going to bend under the pressure of my complaining if I'm loud enough or if I make them feel guilty enough. But the problem is that if I obtain what I want with this strategy, then I have to do it again tomorrow. So this is my video to make you start to understand how much it matters to stop playing the complaining game when you're trying to be heard and when you're trying to take care of a need of yours. And tomorrow, I'm going to do another video to continue on this topic. Bye-bye.